gentlemen, Media Summit Day 2 continues, and we are now being joined by the head coach of Colorado State, Mike Bobo. Coach, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me.
And one of the reasons I wanted to interview you is because you have a lot of Valley kids on your football roster right now, and that's something that intrigued me because I think in the Central Valley, it's becoming a very much hotbed for recruiting. A lot of Mountain West schools have a lot of Central Valley kids, but I think Colorado State has a lot of ones compared to other schools. Can you just talk about that, the recruiting aspects of, a pipe, line from the Central Valley?
Yeah. Well, we're at a place where, we obviously don't recruit our own state extremely hard, but we got to recruit nationally. And one of the states that has a lot of great football talent is California, and especially in that Central Valley area. And it reminds me a little bit of kind of where I grew up, kind of, farm town, country. I think you've got really good football. You've got tough kids that are hungry to, go somewhere and make their way, and they hadn't been afraid to travel. And once you start to get any kid out of any area and they come and have success, then you can continue to have that success and try to build something. And so it's an area that, even before I got to Colorado State, way before, they've always recruited California heavily in the Valley area especially, and we've continued to do that.
Now you're heading into this is your third season now, and preseason polls came out right now. You picked to finish second in the league, and just talk about how the jump was when you got hired to what it is now, and the expectations for Colorado State.
Well, the expectations are extremely high. We've been to 4 straight bowl games. There's been some consistency there. We're building a brand new stadium, or it is built, brand new facility. And when you invest $220 million plus in a university, and especially in the football program, that raises expectations too. So we have a big responsibility to our fan base, to our university, to our community, that we're getting ready to put a good product on the field. And our goal every year is to win the championship, is to be in contention in November and have a chance to play in that championship game. We had been in that contention that we've needed to be the last 2 years. We fought hard and finished strong, but we haven't played well enough on our side, and the mountain side is loaded with a lot of good football teams. So it's going to be another tough challenge for us. The ball's got to bounce our way, and we got to make our own breaks too. But we want to try to put ourselves in a position where we're in contention in November and try to get in that game.
Now, you alluded to the fact that you're going to be in a brand new state-of-the-art, football stadium, and now the facilities. How has that helped for this recruiting class and recruiting moving forward?
It is. There's no doubt it's helped in recruiting our new facility. It's a beautiful venue on campus to watch a game, which is a selling point to recruits' families. But the football complex within the stadium, 11,000 square foot weight room, a fueling station with a full-time nutritionist, a training table, brand new locker room, meeting rooms, training room. It's amazing for our kids, and we show that and say, hey, this is where you're going to play. This is where we're going to develop you, and it's something that guys want to. The wow is there, which is important in recruiting. Let's not kid ourselves. We're recruiting young kids, 17, 18 years old. The wow, but also I think it's very functional. And they can picture themselves there improving and what they go to college for besides academics. That's to play football.
And just going off of that, the wow factor. I mean, it seems like everyone's in the Mountain West, especially at Fresno State. They're talking about rebuilding Bulldog Stadium and just getting other facilities. A locker room, visiting team locker room. And it's an arms race, and started with Boise State when they expanded theirs, and now Colorado State is doing everyone's putting in money into facilities because it is an arms race and it is a tool where you have to succeed, where you have to have the necessities. So you can just talk about that on the administration.
Yeah, we had one of the reasons I took the job at Colorado State was the commitment from the administration to grow athletic department and mainly football. It was something that you, as a football coach, are excited about, that you know you have the resources to get things done. We know in this business, at the end of the day, you got to win ball games. So we got to put ourselves in a position where we can win a conference championship. But in doing that, you don't want to not be able to have something to help your football team get better. And our administration has been outstanding in that aspect. And then you look around, all of college football is growing, but especially in our conference. Wyoming's building a brand new facility. Utah State redid their stadium. Air Force, Boise. What you're talking about is happening in Fresno. I remember when I took the job, first thing I did was I got online and I typed in facilities. And Boise's, by far and away, 3 years ago, was the best in the league. And it had that, if I'm a recruit sitting there looking at it, I'm like, well, this program right here does everything the right way and treats their players the right way. And we're trying to get to that level. I'm very proud of what we have. Now we got to go play some football.
Now, last few things before we let you go. Let's talk about your team. Is it fairly? Can you say this is a nice veteran team that you're gonna have now? Because this is your third year now, so you're gonna have most of your guys playing.
Right.
And with the non-conference schedule you have, do you think this is a very good measure to get you ready for a Mountain West run?
We do have some returning players that have played football, which is always a plus. Anytime you've got guys that have gone out there and played under the lights, in front of the crowd, in front of the band, and had success is a good thing. And sometimes had failures, they've been in that arena. They know how to come back from wins and losses, success, defeats. So it's something that I'm excited about. Now, it's a brand new football team. We're going to have new faces that got to come on for us. We got to see what our identity is, offensively and defensively. But we've got, as you mentioned, we've got a challenging non-conference schedule. And our goal is to win every game. There's no doubt about it. But in this non-conference schedule that we have, win or lose, I believe it's going to prepare us for the conference schedule. We're playing, some very good football teams that, the final polls last year, Colorado was 10 going in the playoff and Alabama was 1. So, one team was in the national championship, the other was right on the outside. So those are big tests. But those are challenges that we want to accept at Colorado State. But, win or lose those games, it will prepare us for the conference run, which is going to be challenging in itself.
Now, some of those things that the Mountain West does have is quarterbacks. You have one in Nick Stevens, Wyoming has Josh Allen, Boise State has Barry Whippen. Is it safe to say that the Mountain West is a quarterback-driven league?
I think, definitely this year, and all those quarterbacks that you mentioned are on our side and the Mountain side. You've got to be a good football team to win your conference championship every year. You've got to play really good defense. You've got to do good turnovers. But I've always felt, to be in it consistently and to have a chance to win week in and week out, you've got to have good quarterback play. And that's taking care of the football, manage the game, making plays with your arm in key situations. And veterans tend to do those things. Guys that have played football games and been in those situations, similar to what I talked about earlier. They've had success, they've had failures, they know how to react when things go good and things go bad. And Nick Stevens, our guy, was third-year starter, played extremely well at the end of last year for us, still has confidence. But so does Wyoming's quarterback, Josh, so does Brett at Boise State, so does Air Force's quarterback, and came in the middle of the year and really took their team on his back, and we're a different football team when he started playing, and he's going to have even more confidence going into this year. So it's going to be tough. If you've got a quarterback, he can do things for you, make plays, and our league is quarterback heavy really this year.
And the last thing before I let you go, one of the quarterbacks on your roster, from the Central Valley, J.C. Robles, What can you talk about him and how has he progressed as sophomore this year,
He'll
correct?
be JC Robles, be a redshirt sophomore for us. JC, very good human being. One of the better human beings I've ever been around my entire life. As far as a kid, he is about 6'5", 220 pounds, has some athletic ability, has a above average arm. JC played in offense in high school that did not throw the ball a lot. So conceptually to the passing game, some things were new to him, and it's taken time. I've seen progress the first 2 years. This will be a big fall camp for him, and trying to get to a point where he will not be a starter this year, but get to a point where he can be a quality depth for us. So this is a big season for us, for him, to see his development. But he's working extremely hard. I don't think he has wasted one opportunity since he's been there, and the amount of time and work that he's put into being a better football player.
And expectations and goals for this year, Coach?
Well, expectations, every year are to win the Mountainside, put ourselves in a chance to play in that game, the conference championship, win the conference championship, and then whatever bowl game we go to, because we can't control that, is to win that game. We all play, to have a chance to win a championship, and we want to be hosting that trophy in December, and we got a lot of work to do, but those are our goals. Expectations are high because of the new stadium, because of the excitement of some returning guys. But that's where you want to, you want to have high expectations. You want to be at a place that, has those expectations, and we're excited about them.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
All right, man.